The galactic exploration vessel Serene Horizon drifted silently through the outer edge of the Kelvar Nebula, its sensors sweeping the debris field with mechanical patience. Commander Vethal, a seven-limbed Orcs with silver-tipped appendages, studied the readouts from his command chair when his junior analyst suddenly made a sound none of the crew had ever heard from a Delvari before, a genuine shriek. "Commander!" Lieutenant Prexis stammered, his bioluminescent skin flickering between yellow and red in rapid succession. "I am reading a Class 3 Deathworld-Class vessel at bearing 479. It is moving, sir." Vethal rose slowly from his chair. A Class 3 Deathworld-Class vessel meant only one thing in galactic registry terms: a ship built by, or once belonging to, a species from a planet with a hostile biological index above 7.5. Planets where gravity crushed, where weather murdered, where the very atmosphere conspired against life. Only 12 such species existed in the known galaxy. Most of them were extinct. "Scan for life signs," Vethal ordered, keeping his voice flat. The answer came back in 3 seconds. 47 life signs, Commander. Oxygen-nitrogen breathers. Bilateral symmetry. Estimated height, 1.7 to 1.9 meters. Prexis paused, his skin going pure white. "Commander. They are from Earth." The bridge fell into absolute silence. The communication channel crackled open, and a voice filled the bridge, deep, unhurried, almost casual in a way that made Vethal's secondary hearts clench with instinctive unease. "This is Captain James Reeves of the USS Ironbound. We've been out here about 14 months. Running a little low on coffee, but otherwise doing fine. You folks need something?" Vethal composed himself and responded through the translator. "Captain Reeves. We are surprised to find your vessel operational in this sector. Our records indicate no registered human exploration routes within 40 light-years of this nebula." A short laugh came through the speaker. "Yeah, we don't really stick to the routes." Vethal exchanged a glance with Prexis, whose skin had settled into a deep, worried orange. "Captain," Vethal continued carefully, "you are aware that this nebula sits adjacent to Vorkan territorial space. The Vorkan do not permit unregistered vessels in this corridor." Another pause. "Then, we're aware. They sent 3 ships to tell us that, about a week ago." Another easy pause. "They left. No further explanation." Vethal did not ask for one. Protocol demanded a visual inspection before any docking clearance. What Vethal's team saw when the airlock of the Ironbound slid open sent a ripple of unease through every non-human crew member present. The humans looked worn. Not broken, never broken. But worn the way ancient stone looks worn, shaped by forces most materials simply would not survive. Their hands were calloused, their eyes clear and steady, their posture relaxed in the particular way that only apex predators ever truly relax, always ready, never tense, because tension was something prey animals felt. Captain James Reeves was a broad-shouldered man in his early 50s with a jaw like poured concrete and eyes the pale gray of winter storm clouds. He shook Vethal's primary appendage without hesitation, which was itself remarkable. Most species required weeks of cultural preparation before making physical contact with an Orcs. "Good to meet you, Commander," Reeves said simply. Behind him stood his crew. Chief Engineer Diana Walsh, knuckles scarred from 14 months of keeping a Class 3 vessel breathing in deep space. Dr. Marcus Webb, the ship's physician, who had reportedly performed emergency surgery on himself during month 6 when no one else was qualified. Navigation Officer Tyler Brooks, barely 26 years old, who had charted their course through the nebula using dead reckoning and instinct when sensors failed. 47 humans. 47 stories that Vethal suspected would make his scales crawl if he ever heard them fully. That evening, sharing rations in the Ironbound's cramped mess hall, Prexis finally asked the question that had been burning in him since the first scan. "Captain Reeves, why do you do this? Explore places like this?" Your world is already dangerous. Why seek more danger? Reeves poured 2 cups of something dark and handed one to the Delvari without asking whether he wanted it. Because the edge of the map, Reeves said quietly, staring at the cup, is the only place worth going. Prexes looked around at the worn, scarred, quietly smiling faces of 47 humans who had sailed 14 months into the void and come out the other side intact, and he finally, completely, understood why the Vorkan ships had left. Some species explored because they were brave. Humans explored because, deep in their ancient bones, the dark had never frightened them at all. End.